Good morning, everybody. We Paddy from across the shuck. How yous all doing? And you're very welcome. And this is another video on. It's in one of the knives that I got from Mark, one of my subscribers, and it just happens to be was one of the knives that I really wanted for my collection of GECs because I didn't have a farm and field, and my favourite farm and field was the bullnose because it's a small work knife. And look, I'm going to start. This is not a collector's video, right? This is for somebody who wants a flipping fantastic work knife that, to me, as a, I thought I wanted it for my collection. What I got is a knife that's way beyond anything I ever thought of. It's genuinely just surpassed what I had in mind. I wanted it for my collection. Let's start at the beginning, right? Farm and field tool is the, I'm going to say budget, but that's not what it is. It's the working tool for GEC, the workman's tool. They do lots of different workman's tool. This is the bull nose. It's a sodbuster pattern, a bull nose. They have a bull buster, which is the bigger version. Now, Case has a sodbuster name, and they have the large sodbuster. But I don't know what the Case one is like. And do you want to know something? I'm probably going to get one now because I feel as if I have to make a comparison. But I have a couple of comparisons here that we'll get into later. This is the box it comes in, and you'll see it says the farming tool made in USA, the 71 bullnose, 1095, just like all the rest of them. The standard of the fit and finish is as good as any. This is a number 71. The 5 pattern is the bullnose blade, and there's only one blade, and this is in 2015. So it's OD green linen micarta. So it's not the rough micarta, it's the smooth, which doesn't really matter, but that's what it is. So I'm going to set that over there. Comes in the tube just like everything else. This is the knife. It is stunning. Yes, it's the shiny micarta, but look at the fit and finish on the back of this, bearing in mind that this is a work knife. It is not completely centered. It's a little bit off to the left-hand side here, but it's not touching the sides. And in all reality, this is a work knife. Now, this had come to me, and I don't believe Mark had used it at all, or very little. He'd used it for it. I have had it a week now. Look at the state of my beautiful bullnose. I don't need to do tests in this because this has given me so much pleasure just to use. It's already starting to fade away. The end bit of it was probably done mostly with a stake. And I cut an apple up yesterday, and I left it on the blade a wee bit too long and wiped it off. But I got really, the pattern has already started. It's a bit rough. Look, it's not smooth looking. Like you can put a patina on yourself and make it all smooth. But this is going to be my work knife, and you'll watch it grow with me. And the reason I'm saying this is not a collector's knife, for me, it's not a collector's knife. This is a hidden gem that I didn't know that I didn't know. Because, look, GECs are all lovely, and I love my collection. There's nothing more gives me pleasure than opening my drawer and looking at my GECs. But as a work knife, medium large hands, look at that. Bulbous end, which I like. The grip for me is complete perfection. It is just 100% perfect. I don't need it bigger. I don't need it smaller. It sits in my hand a treat. But look, that blade stock. It goes down to not a thin end, but it's a good workable end. There's my nail there. You can see it's a good workable end. It's by no means weak. It is a fairly deep, it's a flat grind, very thin behind the edge, which I wasn't expecting. And because I'll show you some of the cheaper versions of a sodbuster pattern that I have. And I just had them because everybody seemed to have them in the collection, and you have to have one of them if you're a collector. and let's be honest, how many of us have knives in a collection we buy just to have them in our collection? We don't really test them enough as a work knife or a knife, whatever its use is. We look, I don't test half of mine. Yes, I give them a test to see whether they're a working knife and they're worth buying, yes. But then I don't use them a whole lot. this is a user. And this is a proud carry. I even put a little leather thong with a bead on it because just to get it in the pocket. Now, I haven't been putting this into a slip. I've just been throwing it in the bottom of my pocket. And yes, sometimes because of its size, I'm going to give you a wee, let's see what size it is. It is 3¾ inches closed. And overall, it is, let me just go there. It's just under 8 inches, 7 7/8, say. But perfect length, absolutely perfect as a work knife. The blade is just lovely. That cutting edge on the blade is uh, just over 2¾ just over the 2¾ just perfect for me. For my everyday use, for my everyday working, this blade is lovely. It's 10.95, so it takes a razor edge, and it just needs stropped most days after work. I put my edge on this. I use my new workshop little fixed angle tool. Put a nice edge on it. It's about 18 degrees, which is absolutely fine for a work knife, and especially, and again, this sort of fool me. It's how thin this is behind the edge. It's a great slicer. It's a great cardboard cutter. It's a great everything. I'm going to get the wood out shortly and do a bit of wood chipping just to let you see how it works. And I would say with this sort of bullnose pattern at the end, this would actually be quite good at doing the bowl of a spoon or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm nearly overexcited to do this video because this bullnose has surprised me because it's just such a good knife. So, I mean, if you want a work knife, yeah, I mean, when GEC puts these out, I reckon in the US they're probably about 75 quid, and then over here in the UK they're over 100 when you buy them. But are you getting that value in the knife? To me, 100% yes. This has taken me longer to get than a full box of GECs in there. I just couldn't get one. Whether I just picked a bad time and nobody was selling them, or more, I'm starting to believe that, let me tell you, if you've got one of these, why would you want to get rid of it if you're going to use it? So I have used the life out of this, and it's been in my pocket ever since it came in the box. Mark, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you some little size comparisons that I've got here. Here was one of my first sodbuster type patterns. This was a $5 US knife that Big Red EDC sent me over. It's a bigger version of the sodbuster. It's just a super big knife. It's a wood handle, would you believe that? And this is actually 10.95. It was taken away and tested, so it's the same blade steel as this, and just a bigger version. Can you see how nice and clean that is? Because I just had it for my collection because I thought you have to have work knives to show. Did it do a whole lot of work? No. Is it going to in the future? Probably very much so. It's just, I can't believe how much I love this pattern and how much it's going to be. And for the UK, let's stop, right? So there we go. There's a larger sort of really cheap. I don't know where, I can't remember where Big Red got it. Now, it might be really cheap, but let me tell you, it is beautifully made. You know, not as perfect. There's wee off cuts, but oh, an amazing knife. Here's another one. I think this is called a Rancher. This is an A.G. Russell, and I sort of counted this as an honorary sodbuster. I think it's called a Rancher, but it's that sort of blade shape, nice and fat, but not over thin behind the edge. Thin enough, but not over thin. Same sort of like maybe a bit stronger tip on it, and that's what I counted as one of my sodbusters. Mark also sent me this Mazzarine, which is the Italian knife made in Maniago. This is a horn. It's beautiful. You can actually, let me get, there you go. You can actually see it's translucent. I'm not sure what sort of horn it is, but it is just gorgeous. If you think you know, let me know. I think it is absolutely stunning. This again, Mark had said, is a cheap knife. The steel on it is inox, which is stainless. But I don't know what it is, probably 420 or something like that. He said this was about a $10 knife or something, not expensive, but it's beautiful. It is, again, the perfect size. If I put that down beside that, there's not that much difference in the handle size at all. Blade's a little bit shorter, but again, it's a knife I'm going to use more now because I've just found out how useful they are. Stunning. So you don't have to spend money on a GEC to get what it's like to have one of these working knives, but not to have it for your collection, to use. I mean, I can't get over that more often. Now, when I go out in the UK, I tend to carry two knives, a bigger knife and a smaller knife. If I'm going down around the town or places where I'm likely to come across police, I tend to carry my hinderer, same size of blades, an absolutely great knife. To be honest with you, I don't need to carry this anymore because I would probably carry this and keep this. This is what I bought for my dad, so I'm in no rush to overuse this. I do use it, but I use it on decent tasks that's not going to wreck it, which is why I carry a small pocket knife with me most of the time. But I'm going to carry this and a small pocket knife in a sheath for bringing it out when I need it. But this will absolutely cover everything I would ever need to do. The other knife, if I'm not anywhere, I'm down near the caravan, again, I tend to carry my small Smenza, the Insingo. Not small Smenza, yeah, the small Insingo, which again, blade length about the same, and I use its hard use, and I do hard use this. But why would I take this out now and risk getting that confiscated when I can take this? This is now going to be I would say it's nearly going to be an everyday carry. Um, yeah, I just don't see why it wouldn't be because I just love it so much. Whether I put it in the slip or not, don't know. I'll have to try carrying. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't carried it outside with a small blade. I mean, I'll carry a little small. I'm going to just show you what I'm talking about here. I'll carry a number 14 pattern, a little small pattern in a slip with it. There you go. And there is a beautiful carry for everyday use. I can bring this out when there's sheeple about if I need a bit of work done. I don't even think that would frighten people. I think the rounded end of the bullnose takes away that sharp pointy stick. It takes away that feeling. So I think that's the sort of, and I have quite a few of these little number 14 patterns and 15 patterns that are quite small, but they're lovely pocket knives. And here's another one I'm going to put it against, which is one of my favourite when I'm out and about and I want to, use a knife. This is a fixed blade. Again, illegal to carry here. It's a bit smaller. This is my LT Wright knives. I love this knife as a great little work knife. Really good little work knife. But again, I believe this as a working knife. This just trumps anything I've ever used on a regular basis. It's so comfortable in hand. It's rounded off. There's no clip to get in your way when you're doing anything, so you can work all day with this and never get a hot spot. I just love the fact of that. The fit and finish is just, look at that. And this is their cheaper work knife. You look at the fit and finish around this, there's nothing. I love these pivots. There we are. It says F&F, Farm and Field, USA, couple of stars. Love them pivots. Aren't they just gorgeous? Now, it's a riveted tool. I can't take it apart. It has a lovely brass liner through the hole at the end. Everything about this just says, work. Take me and work me. And because it's the linen and shiny, oils and things like that don't stick to it. So you're going to be able just to wipe them off and use it. And is it grippy? Not particularly grippy, but because of that bulbous handle, I always think you get that. And if I want to be secure and poke something, I just wrap my finger around there at the bottom so that the knife can't go back that direction. I don't know whether anybody else has used that, but I've used that this week because I've done more pokey to see what this is like. If I'm holding there just on the knife and I poke down, the chances are I could slip. And if my hands get at all wet with sweat, it would slip. So just hold around the bottom there and it is still incredibly comfortable. Just amazing. And I know I'm like an excited child, but Mark, I can't thank you enough. It was the knife that that I'd wanted and why you had sent it for me. I don't think you'll ever send another knife to anybody else in this community who will appreciate Just this one. I have plenty of other ones that you sent me, and the reviews are coming, but I can't get this out of my pocket. I have to put it in my pocket and start reviewing some of the other ones. And by reviewing, I don't like to just review, I like to carry them, give them a test, see what they're like. This is past every test. And you see it cutting through a steak, it glides. It is just stunning. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I am excited. If you ever get the chance to get a bullnose from GEC, do not, and I really do mean that, do not pass it up. Get it. For one thing, whatever you pay for it, you'll get back again. If you don't like it, to pass it on. GECs are very good for holding their price. Well, you mightn't get it all back, but you'll get most of it. Um, what's this like? Has anybody got the bullnose and the case sodbuster? And is there a difference? I know the case, I don't know whether the case comes in carbon steel, but I know it comes in the stainless. Is there a big difference between the two? Do I need to get the case one to put it up against this? I don't think so, because in my head, this is going to be the one. If anybody thinks the case is better, let me know and I'll give it a try. But I don't know. I've got 3 or 4 now. I don't really need any more, but out of the 3 or 4, I'm sorry, but this is the one that's going to get the most use in my life, because it's what I will use and I can carry every day. It's legal in the UK, and it's a legal high-end work knife in my eyes. In my eyes, a legal high-end work knife. Absolutely just dreamboats. Love it. So there you go. I'm not going to make any apologies for the giddiness. Look, I've had this in a week, nearly a week, and I'm still as giddy as when I got it. I love this knife. I've been sitting at night time and it makes a hell of a racket. Listen to that half stop. Slaps down. There's no blade rub. Listen to that. It's got better because I oiled it and I sat the first night and I used it and got the action. Absolutely super all night long. It drove her indoors mad. Her that has to be obeyed has said no more. So the review's out today and I can try something else for a while. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much. Sorry for so excited, but this is a proper man's knife. It's not something to keep in that wee case. This is a proper man's working knife. Take care. Bye bye. Paddy's gone. Cup of tea time.